Welcome to today's F1 News Update. Here are your top stories. Damon Hill unleashes his criticism of Max's aggressive driving style, while Martin Brundle bluntly responds to Hamilton's debut at Ferrari, and Lando Norris explains why he and McLaren are only getting started. The FIA has provided further clarification on its stricter rules regarding misconduct and swearing during the driver briefing at the Australian Grand Prix. The governing body has now specified that swearing over team radio will not result in fines unless directed at race stewards or officials, while maintaining that any profanity during televised interviews or press conferences will still face punishment. These controversial regulations permit harsher penalties, including increased fines and potential race bans for drivers who violate the conduct guidelines. Formula One drivers have voiced serious concerns about the severity of these regulations, particularly the possibility of fines exceeding €100,000 for swearing. What do you think about the FIA's stance on swearing in F1? Lando Norris delivered a dominant victory in the Australian Grand Prix, but the McLaren driver believes his team's true potential is yet to be fully seen. With improved balance across different track types, he expects even stronger performances at upcoming circuits. I think we've definitely made our car much more balanced for all types of circuits. Despite the enthusiasm surrounding McLaren's pre-season pace, Norris maintains a realistic perspective about their position. We know we have work to do, but I'm confident that we're going to China next, and we can be very strong because we were strong there last year with not a very good car. Do you think McLaren can continue their dominance at the front for the remainder of the season? Lewis Hamilton revealed that despite his struggles in Melbourne, he briefly saw a chance to win as he stayed out in the rain while others pitted. Lewis found himself in a surprising position after making a strategic call to remain on track when light rain began falling at Albert Park. The last sector everyone was going off, but I was managing to hold it on, so I was just passing people. I've only got a few more laps to go, Hamilton explained. His confidence in managing the tricky conditions momentarily paid dividends as he moved through the field. While his strategy initially seemed to work, the weather quickly turned against him. In that moment, I don't know, I was like, oh my God, I was leading for a second, he shared. Instead of fighting for victory, Hamilton dropped to P10 as the rain lingered longer than expected, ending his Ferrari debut with a single point. What's your take on Hamilton's decision to stay out during the changing conditions? Would you have made the same call in his position? Red Bull's Max Verstappen could gain a significant advantage following the FIA's announcement of stricter regulations on the mini DRS effect ahead of the Chinese Grand Prix. The new rules dramatically reduced the permitted slot gap variation in rear wings from 2 to just 0.5 millimeters. This technical directive comes after suspicions that McLaren had been exploiting this aerodynamic trick during the Australian Grand Prix, which reportedly allowed them to achieve better straight-line speed, improved braking balance, and enhanced tyre management. McLaren inadvertently highlighted this area last season with its Baku specification wing that exhibited what became known as the mini DRS effect, where the slot between wing elements would partially open at high speeds. With McLaren likely needing to modify their rear wing setup to comply with these new regulations, Max and Red Bull could find themselves with a relative performance advantage heading into Shanghai. Teams received this directive on March 17th, giving them less than 4 days to make necessary adjustments before technical inspections in China. Do you think the FIA is right to clamp down on these flexible wings mid-season? Damon Hill has once again criticised Max Verstappen, accusing the Red Bull driver of relying on aggression rather than calculated decision-making. Hill has previously questioned Max's racing style, often pointing to his aggressive tactics on track. Hill referenced a recent comparison made by Alain Prost, who likened Max to Niki Lauda. While he agreed with some aspects of the comparison, he highlighted a key difference. Lauda drove with his mind, not his fists. This remark follows a history of Hill's criticism toward Max going so far as to suggest that he receives special treatment at Red Bull. He would cry like a baby if people did to him what he does to others. Meanwhile, Prost, a 4-time world champion, has praised Max for his directness and compared him to Lauda in terms of his no-nonsense approach. How would you describe Max's driving style? Sky F1 commentator Martin Brundle heavily criticised Lewis Hamilton's debut for Ferrari, calling it disappointing by any metric. Ferrari struggled significantly with both pace and strategy once the race began. This left Hamilton and teammate Charles Leclerc unable to mount any serious challenge against the frontrunners. Eighth on the grid behind his teammate Leclerc, following Williams for what seemed like an age, and then being passed by Piastri on the final lap. Consigning Lewis to 1 point was not where he should be. The veteran commentator particularly questioned Hamilton's communication style with his new race engineer. I don't understand why Lewis was so angsty with his engineer, who I felt was simply trying to pass over relevant and helpful information. What do you think about Hamilton's radio communications? Justified frustration, or should he have shown more patience with his new team? That's all from this news update. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed today's breakdown, hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more exclusive insights as the season heats up. Don't forget to ring the bell so you never miss a moment of the action.